about 7 or 8 weeks ago, I had a seizure. This was my first one. I'm 51 years old. I was driving at the time. I had an accident. And there was a lot of stuff that I don't remember. Evidently, I got pretty violent. I fought a few police officers, not willingly or knowingly. I promise you. I do remember waking up at Grady Hospital in downtown Atlanta, which is a little scary in itself because Grady is known to be one of the best level 1 trauma centers in the Southeast. And my hat's off to every single one of those doctors and nurses that took care of me while I was in there. Because, again, evidently, I was a little violent, a little angry, and that is a side effect of whatever I've got going on. While we're not sure if this is an epileptic type seizure or if this is a metabolic or some other reason, I have a nurse coming today to install about 23 or 24 leads on my head, and she'll correct me if I'm incorrect on that. Um, and I have to wear this for 72 hours. I'm going to have a video monitor. It's going to be Bluetooth to this stuff, and it works through Wi-Fi. And hopefully, she's going to give me the permission to record a little bit of that to show you actually what it's like to have it done. Because I know for a lot of folks, for me, when they first told me that I had to have this done, it was quite scary. Um, but all in all, if it gets to the bottom of the answers, that's what we need. Stay tuned. He says, Chuck Norman. He said, you're only 3 letters off and a whole bunch of zeros, but that's okay. You're young. You still got time.
He's a really nice guy.
He is a little short guy.
Yeah, I was young when I didn't meet him, but he was in the same place that my dad used to do professional bodybuilding,
Oh,
and
okay.
they were in the same place one time,
Wow.
long time, many moons ago. Okay, so we're gonna start with come on here. This is the form that gives us authorization to treat. I put X's in the places that don't apply, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna let you read over that and you're gonna initial and then sign, okay?
Okay.
And feel free to ask any questions.
Well, I've done a little bit of
Research.
watching of videos
Okay.
to kind of see, what to expect and everything. And I got a lot of questions.
Okay, I want to make sure you get an understanding of everything that's going on. So we got this done. So
Okay.
the second page is the page that's gonna stay with you. This is your log. So the date, the time, and the event of anything that may occur, that's gonna stay with you. And
Okay.
2 extra batteries, okay?
Okay, great.
They'll stay with you. I'll show you how to change the batteries out. But that is important. If you have any symptoms or if a family member is watching, they're okay to fill that out as well. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Um, also, before or after filling that out, you're gonna press this button. And you're not gonna hold it. You're just gonna press it one time, and
Okay.
it's gonna put a stamp on the machine to show that there was an event that occurred. You're gonna also press this button, excuse me, when you want to look at the battery usage.
Okay.
I put a little arrow right here,
Okay.
and you can stick a Q-tip or a pin, and that's where the battery goes.
Okay, great.
But this don't work without the batteries.
That's okay. We'll get there.
We'll get there. So that's that. Those are the 2 most important things,
Okay.
and that's basically the only technical thing that you're gonna be doing.
Okay.
Everything else will just record on this machine here by itself. You see how this is signed out?
Yes.
It will do that. Go to sleep just like your phone and everything else. You can either press that and it comes up,
Okay.
or you can leave it alone and when monitoring come on, they'll do it. Okay.
Okay, great.
This is your camera.
Okay.
This goes wherever you go. It has to go in a 3-prong socket with nothing else plugged into it. And you can adjust this camera any way you want to. You see how I got it plugged over here?
Yes, ma'am.
So right now we're not doing any monitoring, we're just testing. So it can go right here now. But once You get connected. Once I come back with the batteries and we start this machine, this has to go in the socket with nothing else because it'll interfere with what's
Right.
going on. Okay.
Sure. Okay.
And I don't use glue. Most people use glue. I use stickers.
Okay.
It's easier to get out of your head later on. Um, so yeah. Any questions?
No, I did notice one thing on the one of the videos that I watched is that the lady that was having it done to her head, her husband had to come in the next day with a syringe and squirt some kind of liquid into every lead.
No, I've never heard of
I was
that.
like, hopefully I don't have
So
to do
some of
that.
that stuff is I don't it's not protocol, like it's not what we do.
Okay.
It's different EEGs, but you are on Lifeline EEG.
Okay.
And it's just a
Likewise.
21 lead. I'm going to wrap you completely up. You won't see anything on your head.
Okay.
And the wires that's going to be coming from this, you won't see that either.
Okay.
So I keep everything wrapped up and covered. These are the 21 wires. Now, you will also have two EKGs on your chest, and that monitors your heart.
Okay.
So the doctor wants to do both. So we'll do put those on last, but all of these will go behind your head and in like a little coat band to be wrapped up so it won't irritate you. You won't see it. It won't get in the way.
Okay.
No showers, no bathing, no chewing gum, no exercise. They just kind of want you to relax, okay?
All right. Now the medication, the anti-seizure medication that they
What do
gave
you
me.
take, Keppra?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Just continue it? Okay.
Yeah. You want to continue with that because that is super important.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that it would still read and everything. Those were just the little. I'm sure I'll come up with more as we go.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to ask questions because they are important. Although I'm going to leave you with a little piece of paper with like a go-to guide.
Yes, ma'am.
I still want you to call me or text me if you have a question. If you have a power outage, anything that will cause this to not work properly,
Okay.
I want you to call me. You're not getting on my nerve. No question is a stupid question.
Okay.
I need you know, your honesty, and I need to know what's going on.
Okay.
So you don't have to repeat this again. Okay.
Okay. Great.
And Judas was Judas.
How long that's been sitting right there?
Is it in the way? Oh, I just moved it not too long ago
Okay.
when I took it off this.
Okay.
I'm gonna move this all the way out the way because we don't need it right now, okay?
Okay.
But this is your best friend. I disconnected you.
So we're 36 hours in. Very uneventful. But let's talk about a few things that you're going to want to think of. Okay. Number one, this thing is tight. When they put it on, it's going to be tight, but it kind of needs to be, but it's going to be very uncomfortable. On the first day, it's going to be horrible. I'll just be honest with you. You're going to itch. Second day, not so bad. The itchy is still there, but the uncomfortable is just normal. It's nothing remarkable. You're going to want to remember that you are on camera. The monitoring and the EEG, they want to see video. So you've got to be on camera. They say 90% of the time. I'm pretty much on camera all the time, with the exceptions of when the times I go to the restroom or, I just step away from the camera, maybe go to the refrigerator, whatever your thing is. But remember that you are on camera. And while they want you to live your life as it is, there are some embarrassing things that we all do. We all have gas. We all burp. Maybe you pick your nose. Never been a nose picker, but Point being is you're on camera. Um, and I'll say this about the little monitoring system too, and I'll show a picture of it here. Um, don't let yourself go crazy watching that thing. If you've ever been in the hospital or been to visit anyone in the hospital, you can see the monitors. Usually, it's some type of telemetry, a heart monitor, but you can see the squigglies going this way. Well, there's about 21 of those lines. And if you do this, one line moves. If you do this, another line moves. If you sneeze, lines move. Don't watch it. It will cause you to go maybe a little bit nervous, we'll say. Um, there's 5 things that I've written down that you're really going to want to make sure that you're prepared with. Number one, you're going to want to have some type of tops, pajama tops, hoodies, short sleeve shirts, something, whatever your climate is, because you're not going to be able to put stuff over your head traditionally. Make sure that you go get your groceries beforehand. There again, you are limited to whatever Bluetooth range is to whatever that 3-prong plug is that you're plugged into. Um, so make sure that you've got enough drinks. Make sure you've got enough food, snacks, toilet paper, paper towels, all that stuff that you would typically need, because once you're connected, you're connected. Um, this should have been the number one thing that I said, but this is my number 3 item: wet wipes. You cannot shower, you cannot bathe for anything until they get this thing off your head. Um, I like to be clean. I like to have my beard clean. Thank goodness my wife had some dry shampoo that I was able to spray in yesterday and kind of brush it out. Um, but yeah, if you want to be clean, you got to get some wet wipes. Okay, no water allowed. Whatever your normal sleeping arrangements are, whether it's in a bed, whether it's on a recliner, whether it's on a couch, I don't care where it is, have a backup plan. Um, Again, you're going to be kind of uncomfortable. This is going to be unique. Hopefully, you have uh, some some type of comfortable area, and if you don't have a hard time sleeping, this probably isn't going to be tough for you. I've never been a hard sleeper. I've always been a light sleeper until recently, and I've been getting 8 hours of sleep every night, which is helping everything tremendously. That's speaking for me. Um, but I typically like to sleep in the recliner. I will go to bed, but I'll go to sleep in the recliner because I like my head to be a little elevated. However, though, I will get up in the middle of the night and I will go lay on the couch for this test. I don't really want to take the cameras and stuff into my bedroom, only because I don't want to violate the privacy of my wife. Um, but the biggest thing, and the most of all, is patience. 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 Again, you've got a head wrap on. You've got at least 21 leads going to a pack. You are strapped up and you are limited to whatever your Bluetooth range is. Um, this too shall pass. I would encourage you to use this time to study, to be lazy with the body. Don't be lazy with the mind. So, this is my day 3 update. I'm approximately 3 hours from my nurse coming to disconnect me. I thought of a few other things that you may want to know if you're going to go through this. If you are a person that sleeps with your arms up like this, or maybe propping your head up, there are no leads right in the center of your head, so it makes a really good spot for your palm. So if you like to sleep like this, I found that you're not going to agitate the leads. You're not even going to touch a lead for the most part. I've also found that if you do happen to touch a lead or something, It's not that big of a deal because it's not really monitoring the padding, it's monitoring what's going on below, although it is picking up something. Um, I will say at this point, though, you're really going to start wanting this thing off more so than at the beginning. If you've gone 2, 3 days without a shower, you can certainly understand. Now, while I've been able to bathe, as I alluded to with the wet wipes and things of that nature, it's still not the same. Um, I'm looking forward to just being able to walk to my mailbox or walk out in my backyard. Things that you don't really pay attention to. Uh, you don't pay attention to them until they're kind of taken away from you. But remember, this too shall pass. When the nurse gets here, I'm going to let you see the disconnection process. So, as bad as I wanted to bring you the takeoff of the head apparatus and all the leads, she got delayed and it was Friday afternoon, and she gave me the option of doing a self disconnect. I took it. If that meant I could get to a shower 1 second faster, I was going to do it. Trust me, though, you can get through this. If you'll notice this little spot on my head right here, I did that while I was scratching during the head wrap process. Be very careful about where you rub and where you push, because you will rub a hole in that, especially if it's the only place that you get any relief. Um, but all in all, I'm very glad that I had the test. And I will say that if you're going through this right now and you don't know what's going on and you're just looking for answers, in Romans 12, verses 1 and 2, it talks about the renewal of the mind. This may be that time you need just to be alone with your thoughts and with God. Be blessed. If you enjoyed this amateur documentary, please leave me a like, consider a subscribe, but most definitely leave me a comment on where you're watching this. I would love to hear from you. After all, America is calling.